Hello Internet, I'm Wolf and today I'm going to be explaining the basics to very basics of Algodo, and that is the toolbars, so the interface. So what you see right now is the Algodo interface, and it's a pretty easy to use interface. When you first set up Algodo, it won't look like this. I have moved my different windows. And yeah, so the basic window arrangement would be like this. So you've got you don't get that. So this is your sort of, main toolbar, or I don't know what it's called, properly called. So, you've got File, Settings. This is your play mode. You'll just disable it, and it'll hide all the windows, and it'll make things more visual, I guess. You can change your windows, and there is a help. If you're beginning at Algodo, you can run controls. It's pretty good. Yeah, have fun. So basically, starting from here, you've got, I don't know what that's called, simulation options, I guess. So you can open a new scene with your different palettes. So palettes, what they are is, if I choose autumn, number one, the pane here, it's called plane or pane, what's it called? Plane, changes, and, different colors you get from creating new objects changes. So autumn, it gives you kind of an orangey look, sorry. If you just choose something like black, you get a different background, different color, and all these will be sort of a black color. You've got default, which enables every color, and you've got a green lush plain. So this is Algo box. You have other people's scenes. Then you've got, your funlets, which are small things you can put in. So say this is my self-propelled gun I made. Yeah, you can import it into the scene, and it would work just fine. And these are your lessons, just like the help before, but more detail. So this is your main toolbar. So you've got your different tools here. So you've got your knife, sketch, move, drag, rotate, resize, and you've got different tools. So they've all got hotkeys. Hotkeys are really useful. So sketch, I won't go too much detail in. It's really, go into too much detail. So your knife tool, what it allows you to do is to cut things. So if you wanted a freehand cut, if you wanted a straight cut, you hold shift, you can cut like that. And, it's pretty useful. That's how I made the camouflage. You cut things, and if you made a mistake, undo cut, or Control Z, Control Y, doesn't matter. You got your move tool, which moves things. So just say I wanted to move this, I could easily drag it around pretty easily. And if I wanted to interact with it, so moving, I can use my drag tool, which I find really useful. So I can drag the gun up and down. Yeah, have fun with that. If I rotate tool doesn't really have a hotkey. That's because if you hold right click, with any object, it instantly rotates it. And when you hold right click on, the general area without any objects, so not including a pane, it will pan it. So which is pretty useful. So if you hold right click, easily just rotate it. The rotate tool, what it does is, if your cursor is within this circle, it snaps to every 15 degrees, but when it's outside, it's free. So yeah, it's pretty useful. So I'm just going to put, no, I don't need to. So you've got your resize, which is R. So R, scale it. So, you wanted to scale it freehand from here, here, and here. But if you wanted a, perfect scale, so to speak, you can hold shift, and it would scale it down both sides, so horizontally and vertically, by the same percentage. So it works pretty well if you're resizing specific things. So yeah, you've got your basic tools right here. So they're pretty useful. You use them like a lot, and if you don't use them, I don't know what you're going to be doing. So if you want to just say delete an object, you can select it, and you can press the delete tool on your keyboard, or you can right click to open up your edit menu, which I'll go into detail later, and you can press erase, which works. Yeah. So this These are your kind of polygon making options. So you've got the brush tool, self-explanatory. You've got the eraser tool, cut away the brush tool. And if you have the brush tool, if you hold right click, you can use the eraser tool. So yeah, it's pretty useful. You've got your polygon tool, which can be used to select a specific group of objects, or just, different objects, or you can make your own objects. Yeah. You can make gears. The gears are too small. You can change the size of the gear teeth. Yeah, that works. You can have your basic box, jam it. No, it didn't work. And you can have your circles. Plane tools, when you start up any scene, you'll have an automatic plane, which will be, there already. Or you can make new ones. So planes have infinitely deep, they're pretty much infinite. And, you just make stuff on it, which is pretty useful. I'll explain all of these later. So then you've got your chain tool, which is self-explanatory. You make chains, and you make rope, which pretty much the same thing, in other words. Yeah, chains and ropes. So these are kind of your joining options and other things. So your spring, self-explanatory. Yeah. You've got your fixed joint, which will fix two things together. So if I pause the simulation by pressing space, I can easily make a cross. Boom, it's joined together. Two polygons joined together. And if I deleted the fixed joint, they would become two separate objects, and yeah. So you've got your axle, which if you didn't have a fixed joint, what would happen is that, it would become an axle, hinge. H is axle. The reason why it's not A is because number one, pane is A. Number two, it used to be called hinge. So, hinge, self-explanatory, it's pretty useful. It's very useful. Not only that, axles, if you right click, you can add a motor to it, make it stronger, and make it fast or slow, and you can make it, up, down, whatever. So if I hold up, you can change it, play around with that. You've got your thruster tools, which are, I don't like thruster, which sounds weird, kind of your boosters. If you right click on that, you can change how strong it is and how weak it is, kind of like your rockets. Make rockets out of that. You've got your laser tool. Lasers are pretty cool, not really much practical stuff. They're pretty cool. So, they're perfectly straight measurements, and you can fade distance and the size, stuff like that. Then you've got your tracer tool, which is a very, very useful tool. So if I press E, I get my tracer, and it makes a trail wherever it goes. So if you just say, if you hold, I'll show you later. So with this, you can see how that makes kind of a tracer trail. So if you've ever played with, if you've ever played like an FPS game, you get those tracers. Yeah, this is the same thing. But this is much more useful. Then you've got your texture tool, which if I apply a texture, yeah, so it doesn't, it's you. So you can zoom in on a texture, so you can see the texture very clearly. You can rotate the texture, you can zoom out, and you can pan it, which is pretty useful, but I don't use texture too much. So that's basic toolbar. The simulation, toolbar options, so you can change different options here. So drag, whatever. You've got your tool options. You can zoom in and out. You can pan, or you can just right click. Right click works better. You can undo, redo, pause the simulation, or space works fine. You can speed up the simulation and slow it down. If you right click on a slider, you'll reset it back to the default position. You've got turn gravity on, so gravity's off, and gravity's back on. You can change air resistance, and you can turn on grid. Grid is very useful for when you're trying to build complicated objects like this one. Then if you right click on them, you can change options. You don't really need to. Your choice if you want to. And then you've got your material editor bar. So you've got change materials of it, change the look, and you can view forces. So when you view forces, yeah, a lot of forces. Physics. So you can change where your windows are. Generally, what I would do is I'll leave that there. So you can move your windows however you desire, or you can reset them. There's a reset window function here. You can reset that. Generally, this is what I like. This is my configuration. And there is, so if I right click on something, you get this menu. If you go in options, you can fix it. So it doesn't move. And yeah, just leave that there. That's my configuration right here. So that's basically, your basic Algodo stuff. It's pretty, interesting what you can do with it. Circles, squares, and with circles and squares you make this. So yeah, look forward to making something like this. Well, in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to build things. So I'm going to start with a basic car, and maybe, more things. So yeah, thanks for watching. I know I can go on for a very long time. This is, my first time making videos. So yeah, please like, subscribe. You don't have to. I'm not going to force you to. I don't want to. It's your choice. It helps a lot, though. So if I've missed something, or you'd like, if you want me to cover something, just comment down below. It's your choice. You don't really have to. No one really does. But yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.